So, given all that there is to worry about in the quarter, people look at this other category, up 45, and we've heard people building bull cases on the advertising thing alone.
Well, I think there's a lot of positive in those Amazon numbers. Again, when you look at the sort of overall growth rate of a company that big, it's extremely impressive. And I think the scare from the spending on building out the rapid delivery, you've really got to drill down and see how much of this is infrastructure, how much is a one-time fixed cost, which is going to really pay back big dividends in the future, and how much of it is an ongoing additional cost. I mean, I was a little nervous when I saw the personnel costs going up, because does this delivery take a lot more people to get it in there? And if it does, and that's a ongoing expense, that's going to be is a little bit worrisome. But to the extent they can automate it, just build warehouses closer to the source, all that, that's all, I think, a very positive investment for them. Because let's face it, that is a tremendous competitive edge if they can get that stuff in there. And meanwhile, they've got all this nice advertising. The cloud is still doing very well. It's a nice looking picture.
But you usually have a pretty critical eye when it comes to giant synergies and antitrust, anti-competitive behavior. You don't have a problem with Amazon.
I don't. I mean, tell me what market they have, exorbitant market share in. I mean, there's vigorous competition in the cloud area. Retail is still very competitive. Walmart has really geared up and seems to be taking them on head on. They've been very innovative, which is what you want to see a company do. That's not the way an entrenched monopolist acts. They just sit behind their moat, cut costs, and earn very, very high margins. And Amazon isn't there yet. I mean, I think their long-term goal is to monopolize retail, but we're a long way from that.
The delivery piece of this is really fascinating to me, because it seems like we've shifted now, pulled things up to one-day delivery. You've seen competitors like Walmart making similar moves. It almost feels like it has the potential to be a race to the bottom, because the costs, and yes, going back to your point, like how much of this is fixed, how much of this will continue to stay, but the costs of delivery in general tend to be very high. The margins don't tend to be very good. And I wonder if we're almost looking at, with not just Amazon, but with retailers in general, whether we're getting boxed into a corner here.
Well, when you say it's a race to the bottom, it might be for, from the profit perspective, but for consumers, this is really good. I mean, I do think you're raising some interesting questions, because, we now have a fairly long history of companies, especially digitally oriented companies, that have been promising this, like amazing door-to-door service, and a lot of them are now, wreckage along the path that never did find profitability. But Amazon is the first one with the kind of scale and possibly the technology. I mean, where are the drones? I'm still waiting for a drone to come flying up to my front door. But maybe they can crack this. And I mean, I certainly wouldn't rule it out. I mean, and it's great for consumers if it can persist. The other possibility is, look, they do it, they drive everyone else out, and then, maybe they have to pull back a little bit. Maybe there's some places it really isn't feasible to get the kind of, but we'll see. They have some flexibility there.